Hi everybody, welcome to another tutorial. Check it out, it's Rocket Raccoon. But today I'm not going to be twisting Rocket Raccoon. Maybe that'll be my next tutorial, I'm not sure yet. But I just wanted to show you if I did, this is more or less what I would be doing. Something like this, okay? But let's go ahead and move on to what I'm actually twisting, and that is Groot. Baby Groot, so many different Groots. Is this tween Groot? I'm not sure. So we have Groot in the pot. And then we have an itty bitty baby Groot, which doesn't make sense. Why would he be shorter than that one? I don't know. So anyway, so these are the three I'm going to go over today, actually. So like I said, we're going to have one that's out of the pot, which is nice. And then we do have one that's out of the pot also, but teeny tiny, which is kind of cool because you could put them on a bracelet or something, right? And then we have one in the pot. And the influence for this one came from the one and only Michael Floyd. That's right, absolutely. So definitely wanted to share how I make this, and so hopefully you find them all useful. All right, so the first one we're going to start with is let's start with the itty bitty one here, and then we'll work our way up from there. And actually, we'll go this one, then this one, and we'll finish with the one in the pot. Okay, and maybe what I'll do, I'll try to do my best. And remember this, is I'll put the different times in the title line, so that way you know, hey, this Groot, this Groot, this Groot. We'll say baby Groot, medium Groot, and Groot in a pot or something. I'll put the times so that way you can skip right to that, to the one that you want to check out and learn how to do. Okay, but the good news is they're not very hard. So let's go over the balloons we're going to be using. It's going to be 350. 160s, and then if you're doing the one in the pot, well, pardon me, we'll go over that in just a minute. If you're doing the one in the pot, we'll do this. We'll be doing the grade 260 if you're doing one with the pot. If you're doing just the baby one, you're going to be using these two, and you will use, all of them are going to use a piece of green, so that way we can do the little hair on top, okay? And then if you're looking to do the one that's out of the pot and the biggest right here, you can see that's just the 260 brown with 350 head, okay? All right, and so let's go ahead and get to it. Oh, and I'm pretty much going to use all the same artwork for them, and we'll go over that, and it'll be really easy. So if you never watched any of my tutorials, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. If you're back, welcome back. And then so what I usually do is I bring the sound down, I do voiceover, that way we can minimize all the squeaking, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. What do you say? All right, let's bring that sound down. Here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to marriage twist that little piece of green we have right down inside the 350, and that's going to give us our head, and it's also going to give us the little green hair that he has on top. I guess not really hair, leaves. And yeah, like I said, I'm just pushing it on there. I just pressed it against the nozzle before I pushed it down inside, and then you see I'm even tugging on it, make sure it doesn't pop out on me. You could tie it if you need to, but I haven't found the reason to do so. Now I did squeeze the 350 body a little, so it shrunk, which is kind of cool. He's about 3 fingers, and a good idea for that is because it'll end up making his head bigger in proportion to his body, so he'll be, you know, kind of like a toddler if you think about it that way. Okay, so I just did 2 pinch twists for the feet, and I'm going to break that off, and I'm actually keeping that 350 only because I'm going to be making another one, and I'm going to go ahead and use that to make the next character's head. So alrighty, so now we've actually made the head and the body for that little bitty Groot, and so now we're just going to take our 160 and we're going to make some arms out of it, so that'll work out nice. So I would say of the 3, this one's probably the fastest. Okay, so we have our little bitty body, and I think he's pretty darn cute. So tiny. Alright, so to do the arms, the hands, we're going to do a little 1 finger pinch twist followed by about another pinch twist, another, like, I would say 1.5 fingers for this one. So just make it slightly bigger than the other so you can tell the difference. And for the arms, you see what I did here actually when I measured it. Let's see, what did I come up with? I think 3 fingers. I think 3 fingers is about right. But I'd probably go 2.5, just to shorten them. They came out a little longer than I wanted them to. So now what I'm doing right now is I squished the bubble, the air a little bit out of the balloon. Now I'm making a pinch twist there in the back, and so once that's done, I'll just place it there, and then I'll be able to make the other arm. So I do want to talk about that while I'm making the other arm. So what I do, 3, yeah. So 3 fingers, but I would say shorten it just a little bit. They came out a little long for my taste. Otherwise, If you're going to keep them that long, 3 fingers, I would lengthen the torso a little bit just to make the proportions a little more even. All right. And so really quick as I finish up here with the hands is the back of the neck, that pinch twist. Again, squish a little bit of air, then roll your bubble, and then you can turn that into a pinch twist, and that'll help you out, okay? Because you might get to that part and be a little aggravated because that pinch twist is too tight up against the back of the head. And so that's going to alleviate some of that pressure or the annoyance caused by that pinch twist. So again, squish some of that air out, and that'll help you. Alrighty, so there we go. We're pretty much done. I'm just taking a look at it, make sure that nothing's falling apart or nothing's barely hanging on. But I think overall it's pretty darn cute. Alrighty, we're moving on to number 2. Number 2, pause the video if you have to get some more balloons. This one's a 350 and a 260. And again, the green scrap for the heads. We're going to start the same way. That's the cool thing about the character. They start the same way. Whew. You got to love it when that happens. Alrighty, so again, marriage twisting it down inside there. And I'm just pulling on those. No reason really, because as long as you're holding on to it, you're good to go. And plus, you're going to push that nozzle back up again anyway. And so those pieces of the leaves are going to end up popping out of the top. So I guess I was just trying to give them a little bit of length. And if you look at it, it's almost like, I mean, back to basic twisting, it's just a apple with 2 stems. There we go. And so we just did a 1-inch pinch twist and just a loop there. And the segment for the arm is about the hand's grip. And I'm going to go ahead and roll that in where the neck is. So we're doing about about a hand's width, just to get that measurement right. Okay, so that was the torso. Then we went down and did the legs. Gonna lock twist that, and we're gonna come right back up to the neck area. And you notice I haven't broken off the 350 yet, and the reason I'm keeping it around is just because, well, for no reason now, but it makes everything easy when you have that extra piece there hanging around to twist into before you finally, at the end, if it doesn't bother you, certainly doesn't bother me. I end up waiting till the end to break that off. Until then, though, I'm definitely going to work with it as long as I can. So just keep that in mind. That doesn't hurt to have it there while you're working. So, okay. So we're just going to do a pinch twist, and we're going to finish with the loop. And I think I turned into an animal there just for a second. Yep, I sure do. Anytime I bite the balloon, that's what I always tell the kids. I'm an animal. And so I encourage them not to be animals, even though they see me. Monkey see, monkey do, right? So you see right now I am rolling the arms down just a little bit so they go in between that 2 bubble segment at the torso. So keep that in mind, okay? Alrighty. Number 2 down. Working on number 3. Put them in the pot. So again, we're going to start the same way for the head. And we are going to get our green scrap. Push it down into the 350. Marriage twist it. There we go. Alrighty, so again, once you get to this point, you know, doing this over and over, you get really good at it. And one thing I would keep in mind also is when you're doing the tiny Groots, you can make the head a little smaller. It wouldn't hurt versus that medium-sized Groot, number 2 Groot. His head could be a little bit bigger because he's bigger. So you notice right now I did not break off the 350 yet. I'm gonna keep it again. And so right now I'm just creating the little hands, so with the small pinch twist, because I am using the 160s. And so I'm just going to measure our arm out here really quick, see what we're working with. That looks pretty good, I would say about a hand's width there. There we go. And I twisted it there, and that's going right into the neck area, just like the last one did. Okay. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go down and measure. We're going to see how long do we want the torso to be. And so I think I decided on 7 fingers. Yep. Okay. So go down and then come right back up to the neck. There we go. Okay. So again, pretty simple process, and then you'll be able to twist your second arm out of there. So you can see none of them take too long. That's the good thing about them, and the good thing about the Groot character as well, that it doesn't take too long, which is good. On the other hand, that Rocket Raccoon that I showed at the beginning, he does take a little bit of time, more than the Groot, I would say. So moving on to our 260 gray. So about a hand's width there. This is going to be the bottom of the pot. I'm going to feed it in between the 2 pieces there for the torso, and just wrap that around, match it at the bottom, There we go. And I'm going to pull that nozzle right through there just to make sure it stays nice and secure. And then we're going to come right back up for a third segment. Okay. All right, and I'm going to leave that just for a second while I go up and just clean up our 350 there, because we're getting ready to make it all come together here in just a moment. And for that 350, I did wrap, you know, that 160 around it several different times, but when I do hide that tail away, I do want to wrap it around a few things because I don't want to lose it. So back to the pot on the bottom, I'm doing 2 pinch twists, or excuse me, 2 bubbles, and I'm going to go around, and I'm going to come back to that second pinch twist, and I'm actually going to roll that. You see that I create a pinch twist by rolling that 260, or the gray back around it. Okay, there we go. So it looks fine. And so the last thing, one of the last things is going to be to do with this is we're going to roll those 260s, the torso, we're going to roll them around each other. If you've ever excuse me, I can't speak. If you ever made a wand of some type, this is basically what we're doing. We're rolling them around each other. And this is one thing I remember seeing from Mr. Michael Floyd's design that I really thought was cute. Winding it around adds something nice to the character. So that's pretty much done. And so you just make sure the arms end up wedged in between the 2 balloons there. That way it keeps them in place. So keep that in mind when you're doing it, if they're rolling or not falling in place. But otherwise, looks like we're good to go. Hide that nozzle, and the pinch twist stays on the back. That's the back of the structure. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Let's get to the art. We made it. Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's actually finally starting to get warm here. So it's actually warm in this room for the first time in like, yeah, at least it's probably October. Who knows? I mean, with the heat on, yes, but I turned the heat off, so now it's actually warm without the heat. So let's go over the artwork really quick. Like I said, I'm going to do the same artwork for all of them so you can see. You can apply it to each of them. Take a close look there. Here we go. Okay. I know I didn't keep it there long, sorry. But let's go really quick. So it's going to be circle. There we go. And another circle. Okay, so we got 2 circles there. Then our little eyebrows. There we go. And then we'll do a little smiley face. And so I'm going to actually go all the way across this time. And we'll put the little lines there to indicate the little cheeks, as if a tree could have cheeks. I almost said cheeks. So anyway, what I want to do also is indicate a little bit of eye color, because normally his eyes look like they're like a solid black almost, you know, but we can still work around that and still give a little bit of color by using this brown, which is nice. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in a little bit, just like this. You see these little lines that I made. Let me hold it up close. And the eyes going in that motion, that circular motion, so I'm going to follow that as well. I'm not going to get rid of that. Okay, so you see that's what we get, and that's where the eye color is going to be. It's going to stay. We're not going to do anything else to it. We're going to use that background. If you have a brown marker, you can definitely go do it darker. So let me do it for the other eye. There we go. Take a good look. And you could do like, you know, you could just go straight for the highlights, but I definitely wanted to give them a chance to have some eye color in there. And I thought it'd just be something nice. So there you go. All right. And so now I'm just going to color the rest of this area in black. I'm going to leave that little guy, that little shape that I made. I'm going to go ahead and leave it open. Don't put anything in it. So it looks like this. Ta-da. Okay, same thing for the other side. And like I said, if you have a brown marker, you can definitely color that in if you want to go darker with the eyes. There you go. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to hit it with some white marker. And so I'm going to go with, I'm going to do the highlight from over this direction. Hopefully you can see that up here. Okay. So we're going to go, I'm going to do the biggest one first. Then we'll do it at an angle there. We'll do a slightly smaller one. And then we'll do a teeny tiny one. Not teeny tiny, but smaller. They're almost the same size, those 2 bottom ones. Okay. And then just copy here, do the same thing that you did on the other eye. And then it ends up looking pretty darn cute. A little Groot. There you go. So let me bring back the rest of the family. Now we have 2 in a pot. There we go. Hey guys, thank you very much again. I'm so thankful. I mean, golly, we made it to 1,000 subscribers. I know I said that in the last video, like we finally made it, but I'm still thinking about it. Like, holy cow, that was so cool. So again, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. I got more stuff coming up. If you like this video and it's useful, because I know Guardians is coming out probably just in a couple days, I think. For some of you, if you're ahead of us, you're probably already getting ready to watch it tomorrow. So hopefully this will be something helpful to you. If by chance somebody says, do you know how to make anything from the Guardians? If you don't already, maybe you could try this little Groot, huh? And then what else? Oh, comment below. Say, yeah, I could use that Groot. Or, nah, I already got a Groot that I use. So by all means, either way, like I said, I hope you've enjoyed your time here watching and learning a little something. And until next time, though, happy twisted.